Hi, I'm Charmaine. Welcome to the Love of Self podcast, where we delve into the emotional aspects of finding love for self. Today's topic is power. The thing about power is that there's always an outside source to be connected. Therefore, power is always given. In order for power to thrive, it must always be fed. Power needs someone or something to give it its strength. It needs our eyes to see it. It needs our ears to hear it. It needs the minds of people to conceive of it or even consume themselves with it. Bottom line is power needs you. Without you, there is no source to build from. So then, we must ask ourselves, to whom is this power given to? Why should they have it? What are they doing with it? And why do they need it? For a long time, I have said that the root of all evil is not money, it's power. And it's not to say that all powerful people are evil, but it is to say that all evil is rooted in the need of power over others. And while money is certainly a tool, it's not the only tool. I personally believe that there are 3 tools that are easily used to manipulate power. The first one is obviously money. The second one is influence. And the third one is access. And if you have one, you can get the other 2. And the thing is, we need these things somewhat. It's just the matter of how we go about attaining it. On a previous episode a while back, I spoke about the differences of power and empowerment, and how power relies on others for its strength, and empowerment relies on oneself for its strength. So the question is, what direction do we go into when there is a need for the ideals of strength, or what we believe to be strength? Usually we see powerful people and relate that to the established status that they've been given in life. Money, material things that they've acquired, looks, how they're able to treat people and get away with it, how they're able to manipulate. And all of that derives off of the energy from others that they've been enabled to receive for themselves. And the interesting thing about that is how that type of power can create a weakness. Because the moment that everyone stops giving you the energy that you thrive off of, the moment everyone turns their back on you from that space of high status that gives you, the energy that it brings to you, to one's demeanor or reputation, that when so much is needed outside of ourselves to look a certain way, to feel a certain way, to become a certain way, all of the mentality that it takes outside of oneself to create that within oneself leaves a huge open hole for when all of that comes crashing down. It leaves a large vulnerability the moment that you can't reach that energetic status. You are no longer able to manipulate people in your favor because now too much is done where they can see through you. And while the powerful energy that can portray for a very long time, sometimes for a lifetime, depending on how things are spun. There's still another component to empowerment, because empowerment is completely internal. It does not rely on anyone outside of yourself to fuel your own energy. You are your own source that guides your way. There's often no praise for it. There's not often anyone cheering you on. It's solely from your own heart, from your own inner strength within you, to empower yourself to do whatever it is that needs to be done for whatever reason. To be empowered is to be truly strong, is to be truly uplifted, because there's no need for any outside source. There's no need to manipulate anyone else because you're too busy manipulating your own upliftment. You're too occupied with your self-fulfillment, with your self-discovery, with your self-knowledge, instead of what one may need others to believe in order to be uplifted. The negative side of power is that it's often stepping on someone in order to be uplifted, while empowerment uplifts under its own jurisdiction, under its own equipped status, and not what everyone else believes it to be. And the fact of the matter is, most of us have come across the situation where we've had to decide whether or not there's a need for us to be empowered or powerful. We've all had to take a stance on something to where we had to decide to step on someone or uplift ourselves under our own right, under our own way of thinking. One pleases the ego and the other pleases the heart. One needs others for strength and the other can conjure up their own. One way looks strong and the other way feels strong. And there is a compartment within all of us who has an opportunity for one or the other, where we can gain the understanding of power versus empowerment, where we can see what people are trying to do to us as opposed to what people are trying to do for us. We can see within ourselves what we need to do to ourselves and for ourselves, and what that means to us in the world, what that means to our environments that we live in, what that means for our world, our inner world specifically, what we need to take from this day forward with our own knowledge of how we create empowerment for ourselves and how we create power for someone who needs it from us, and where that empowerment or power takes us into the future, where that might have us stagnated or where it might have us in movement, where it might bring clarity or blindness, where it might see structure or destruction. And whatever scenario that we come into is that we are the source of all of it. We are the reason for which way we want to go. So we have to make the decision. We have to come to the point where we realize ourselves in order to justify our own empowerment, in order to justify the vision of what needs to grow within us and how that extension will allow further growth outside of us. So there's a decision to make. Do we want power, or do we want to be empowered? Do we want to be the source of our own light, Or do we want to use it to shine on someone else? Or maybe there's a concept of both of those things, depending on who we're talking about, depending on the energy and demeanor of who we're speaking of. But most of all, understanding the energy within ourselves that help these things come to light. I'd like to thank you for taking these few moments to listen to what I have to say. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. So I'd like to ask you, what does power mean to you? Does it mean something evil or does it mean something else? Does it mean something different from empowerment? How do you use your power? How do you use your empowerment? How do you see the power of others and how it connects to your power? How have you connected with it? And how has it connected with you? I'd love to hear from you. Please comment or email theloveofselfpodcast@gmail.com. Please remember, I am not a licensed therapist. Also, my new book is out, Love Yourself, a book of poetry and spiritual writings for self-love. It's available now on bookbaby.com. Purchase link is in my Instagram bio. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, always. Until next time.